So we, as human beings, are always breathing, and yet we oftentimes overlook how powerful breath can be for opening us up to our higher selves, or to well-being, or to more peace or balance, stability, and energy in our lives. Pranayama is a term used to describe breathing exercises. It's a Sanskrit word combining prana and yama, which translates to prana means breath, life force, spirit, and yama just means control. So if we are in the process of understanding who we are and how to develop more self-control or greater awareness of our energy, pranayama is a really simple tool, and it's a blessing to have this massive library, so to speak, of ancient techniques. And of course, I would also give credit to modern humans who are pushing the limits of breath holding, whether that be, Wim Hof or Stanislav Grof or any of the, world freediving champions. That breath is an incredible tool. And of course, I can't wax poetic enough about it. But the important thing that for you is that breath is always with you. And that if you are of a spiritual nature, then that means that spirit is always with you and that you're never alone. So this is one of the greatest tools that we have. Now, in yoga, they call pranayama the wishing tree, essentially the fountain of youth. The energy circuits in the body are all governed by the nervous system, and the nervous system is governed by the breath. So they say, in order to control the mind, control the breath. And you can obviously see this in like any number of scenarios where when we're getting emotionally charged, or if you see someone else who's emotionally charged, oftentimes the breathing pattern changes. And it can definitely be a positive thing too. Like if you are preparing for an athletic event or for a speech or something, your body will start to produce excess cortisol or excess stress hormones, and this can be a positive thing in small amounts or at the right time. And this allows your body to change its physiology and start producing more oxygen, right? Like if you have anxiety and you like go to breathe into a paper bag or whatever, that's like a classic thing that a doctor told us. But what we don't often receive, at least in the West, is the full comprehensive understanding of how breathing exercises can really make a difference in our lives and benefit us on an infinite number of levels. So breathing is a tool that we all have, and we can tap into these different exercises at different times of day or different times in our lives when we need to find an element of balance within ourselves that these different exercises can offer. So there's, as an example, there's longer breaths and shorter breaths and hotter breaths and cooler breaths. And we can really use these to guide our energy and to clear out any toxins or impurities that are in our nervous system, and literally just clearing things out of the physical system allows the body to retrain and reset the nervous system so that it comes back into balance, into homeostasis. And it doesn't have to be anything in particular in terms of the breathing exercises, and breathing are both beneficial. If you only breathe and are mindful of your breath, that's excellent. That's a very beautiful place to be. It's just simply aware of your breathing without needing to try to change it. So I would encourage everyone before starting breathing exercises or any type of yoga energy work to really reconnect to themselves and to your heart, to your inner nature, before trying to practice something new, especially, and always, even just in daily practice, just to reconnect to your heart and to why you're doing something. What is your principal aim? What is your goal? And so, yeah, that's kind of a simple primer on how breath has a lot of potency to transform our lives. Now, with specific breathing exercises themselves, there's any number of texts on breathing exercises. You can look up a lot of breathing exercises. So I'm just going to give you one so that you can remember one. Because, like Bruce Lee said, the most powerful martial artist is the one who's practiced one punch 10,000 times rather than 10,000 punches once. So this is just a simple breathing exercise called the triangle breath. It's similar to the box breath, if you're familiar. And it's just an inhale and then a hold, a breath hold, and then an exhale. So I kind of like to think of it as a reverse triangle where you inhale and then hold and then exhale, all for the same count. Andrew Weil, who is a well-known natural medicine doctor, he talks about the 4-7-8 breath, where you hold for 4 seconds, or where you inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 7, and then exhale for 8. That's really similar. It's the same triangle process, only a different amount of time. If you'd like to try that, you may. The triangle breath with an equal breath hold is a really simple one to remember, because you don't have to remember different numbers. If you're inhaling for 4 seconds, you're holding for 4 seconds, exhaling for 4 seconds. And then you can start to progress and expand your lung capacity with an even deeper practice. And with time, the yogis say that when you start your breathing exercise practice, there are some people who actually can expand their lungs by a factor of 10, so increasing your actual lung volume, lung capacity by a factor of 10. So this is just to say that in the abdominal cavity, or in the body, we have a lot of space that I guess you'd say is untapped or unused. And there's always compression or force just from gravity in our body, but also the way that the breathing works in our body is the atmosphere. There's like 14 pounds of pressure per square inch being exerted on our body just from the weight of air. And so we're not aware of it consciously, in the same way the fish isn't really aware that it's in the water. But we have this massive amount of pressure. So every time we take a breath in, it's actually, we're just allowing our body to relax and allowing that atmospheric pressure to just flow into us. So that's a really beautiful way of saying that the universe is working in your favor to help you grow and evolve and expand and increase your lung capacity, or practice breathing exercises with greater vigor. So let's try it out. So we'll do a couple rounds of 4-second equal count measured breathing with the triangle breath. So remember, it's an inhale and then a breath hold and then an exhale. So in, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4, just like that. Okay, so let's try. So first, relax, inhale gently, exhale, and we'll start. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4, inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4, in, exhale. In, hold, exhale. So just like that, practicing the breathing, getting in tune with the breath as we link our breath to rhythm, as we link our breath to time. So this is obviously something that anybody who practices sports or is into cardio training is going to immediately be aware of pacing your breath. Like if you're running or biking or swimming, anything like that, being aware of how your breath is flowing is an excellent way of calming the heart down and training yourself to be more efficient with the oxygen that you're taking in. So it's not always so much about taking the biggest breath you can possibly take as it is about just using what you already have in your system. So it's kind of like hypoxic training or breath training for swimming or free diving underwater. Only the main difference is that one, it's safer because you're not going underwater, and two, you're not forcing yourself to do anything that's uncomfortable or to expand your breath beyond what is your limit in that moment. So you never want to feel that sort of stress of not having enough oxygen. When you do decide to push your limits, say we just did that 4-second breath count, you can push that breath by 2 seconds to 6s, then 8s, 10s, 12s, and continuing on as much as you can. Some yogis have worked their way up to 30 seconds, so maintaining a practice of inhale for 30 seconds, hold for 30 seconds, exhale for 30 seconds. If you do it 20 seconds, it's 1 breath per minute. And if you do, say, 12 rounds, then that's 12 minutes of breathing exercises and 12 breaths. So that's a really excellent way to remember that it's not so much about training yourself to push your limits in terms of just your lung capacity. It's always about remembering that you're connecting to your heart and you're relaxing, and that's basically the point, is that you're allowing your body to become more efficient by using the oxygen that you're giving it in a specific allotment over this time period, and then that extends throughout your day to how you spend your energy, right? So this is an important lesson for all of us to remember, especially, with the world of distraction that we have, especially with technology and just a fast-paced world, and that it's really something that we can do when we're, riding in the car or walking down the street or, taking a break from work or anything that any time when we have a couple extra minutes, we can practice some breathing exercises and bring more calm and centeredness into our lives. So that's all. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Enjoy breathing. Peace.